welcome back to RachandBella Crafts. Rachel here, hope you're all well. So for today's video, I thought I'd do a quick video showing you how I make, first of all, my coffee tea dye papers. And then I wanted to show you some tips on what you can do whilst they're drying with your stencils. I've tried out a variation of techniques today. Some of them worked out great, some of them not so great, but I just thought I would give you the benefit of my experience and give you some ideas to go and try yourself, because I think they will be perfect in our Bohemian journals or any other kind of journal that you might be making at the moment. So I'm going to whiz you off to the first little clip that I did. There's no talking over the clips that I've done out in the garden because the dog next door was barking. I just thought it might be a bit annoying for you. So I will play you a jaunty tune instead. But it's all pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you how I put my coffee and tea mixture in. And then how I mix my papers, how I dry my papers. And then we'll talk stencils. Okay? No worries, off you go. Okay, so that is how I make my tea dye papers. Well, it's actually tea coffee mix. So if you will notice in the video, there were 5 tea bags in there to 2 pints of water. It was 2 pints, wasn't it? Yeah. And then I used 2 teaspoons of coffee granules, but I didn't actually use teaspoons. I used, you know, when you go on holiday, I brought back all like the stuff that was in the hotel, so the tea and the coffee sachets. Well, I put 2 of those sachets in, so it didn't cost me a thing. Wonderful. And this is how they come out. Now, I'm really pleased with them, and because I've dried them flat on the ground, they've actually dried flat rather than curling up. I do love the crinkly feel when they're done in the oven, but I much prefer them to be flat like this because they don't need ironing or anything like that. So I've literally just put a box on top of these this afternoon and left them to it, but they've dried really nicely. So I'm going to show you next now how I apply stencils, and I've tested out a few different techniques using stencils and the distress inks. I'll show you which inks that I've used in the clips, and then some different ways in which I have put that together. Okay. Okay, so in the videos there, you'll see that I was placing these stencils onto the coffee dye papers while they were drying to see then if we could stencil around them using the Distress Oxide sprays and to see how they would dry. Because I thought I usually wait all this time for them to dry and then do other stuff on them. I may as well just do all at the same time. So they were great. The only thing I will say is that obviously it did leave me with a bald patch where I had obviously had the stencil on there. And of course, because I oversprayed around, I was left with, so what I've done now is I've sprayed a little bit more on top and it's kind of doused that down. It's not terrible. I've probably just sprayed a lot on there because I couldn't actually see what I was doing. The sun was very, very bright at that point because we've had really hot weather here today. But I don't think they look terrible. I think they look quite interesting. Perhaps if I'd put a bit more thought into my placement of them. And another thing I think that might help as well is if I perhaps had sprayed the page first with colour, then overlaid them, and then was perhaps a bit more careful in my spraying. Of course, what would have been the idea was perhaps have just sponge dabbed with them or used my dauber. So, you know, all lessons to be learned, but they're certainly not unusable, are they? And I think they look quite interesting as backgrounds. You know, and there's further things that I can continue to do on them now. You know, I can do some watercolour around them if I want to, or, you know, anything else that I want. But basically, that is how they've come out. So I think they look quite good. And obviously, they died whilst they were on. Some of the papers were like doubled up drying. And where that happened, then I had a nice speckled effect then on the other side. So that was the first lot. And then the second batch that I did then, you should see with the large stencils that we did. So that was this one here that I did. Sorry, I don't know why I always say we. There we go. So I used these. These are brilliant. These are from Crafts. And they came out really well. So here we go. Got that one there. And then what I did then after I'd sprayed the stencil, so that's under there, went around and all that. Then, because obviously the stencil was covered in the ink, I took another sheet and placed it over the top. So similar sort of effect to what we were doing with the jelly print. But if you don't have jelly print, do it with your stencil. So now I've got the positive and then the negative of the same image. Yeah, that isn't that one from that, is it? It's not even the same flower. Nice try, Rach. But you understand what I'm saying. That is a negative print. That's off the other one. I was just looking at that and thinking, that's different flowers. Hang on, it's different colours. But what was great about it was I actually managed to get 3 out, because then I did a third rubbing with it then, and then I had this, which I think is amazing. I love this. This is a really subtle background. So, you know, you've got lots of different options here. These were others that I did. They were with the, I think that was the blue jeans. This one here was, I think it's called Fantasy Mermaid or something like that. Marine, maybe. That one was with the faded jeans spray. Let's see what else we got here. And then what I also then went around and did afterwards was used my gold watercolour, and I literally just tapped around all of the papers that were out on the ground, and they've all got these lovely little blotches on them now. Some quite splattery. These are the negatives. Obviously, these are the ones that were the third rub. But I think these look great. Really good. And of course, because they're coffee dyed, you know, the other side is just as interesting. That's another negative there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I think the negatives are really cool, actually. I really like them. That's another third press. But again, it's all useful. It's just the extra inks that were left. Another one there, another negative, and here's the positive ones then from it. There we go. There we are, and then that one there. So I was really, really pleased with how they turned out. After that then, what I then went on to do was I had some beetroot juice left over in the jar because we'd finished up this week's beetroot. So I did some beetroot dyeing in exactly the same way that I did the coffee dyeing. So in the tray, left it in there for about 5 minutes, and then took it out and laid it out onto the big sheet that I had on the lawn. I was just using an old dust sheet on the lawn to help them dry out. I find if I hang them, they tear, and it helps them to stay nice and flat. I mean, look how flat these are. These are just great. And then I did some others then with the stencils. Some of them I made a few mistakes on because the stencil moved, but I still think they look fine. I think they look great, actually. So I tried them with a few different types of colours. I love this one with the yellowy colour on there. That was called amber something. And then that was the negative of that then. I just think these look... Oh, no, it's not. I'm telling lies. That's not the negative. It's the back of it. That looks like it has been printed on there. That's really uncanny. These are just the beetroot dies, but I think these look marvellous. So I obviously did spatter these with the gold. So these are going to go in my boho journal. They're going to be lovely. And we've got this one there. The dog stepped on that one. It was very kind of her, wasn't it? Nosing around out there. Oh, and she stepped on that one as well. Oh, that one off. Oh, oh, dearie me. She must have had a good old plonk about on these. I didn't notice. Oh, that'll be all right. A little iron out. It's only my little doggy. She's not going to cause any harm. So there we go. Just a couple of ideas for you on how to quickly and simply make some wonderful patterns for your papers. If you don't have a jelly print, that's fine. You can do the same things with stencils and it comes out just as nicely. And of course, if you use the negative, you even get that background imprint then. I'm really impressed with the negative, actually. It took me 2 sprays of looking and thinking, oh, I should rub that off on a piece of paper. But yes, go and give it a go. Have a try. Even if you just do 1 or 2 in your house, if the weather's not conducive to being outside to do it. But yeah, just have a go and see what comes up with and then see what you've got then to pop into your journal. So I'm kind of paper stocked up now for a couple of journals here at least. And they'll keep me going for a bit. But I hope you enjoyed my little tips and tricks tutorial today. Don't forget the boho collaboration. How boho can you go? We've had the amazing Marlene today from Uniquely Ella. If you haven't yet checked out her video, please go check it out. It's fantastic. She is such a talented lady. I've been following her on Instagram for a long time and I just love her work. And I'm over the moon that she's joined us in this collaboration. So such an honour to have her working alongside us. Please come back and join me tomorrow because you have me tomorrow for the collaboration. I'm very excited. I have got what I'm going to do. I haven't filmed it yet, you know me. I'll probably do it sometime tonight. But yeah, so don't forget, and also don't forget that the kits are still on 50% off sale. All the links are down below. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye.